doom 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 doom. Wow 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 wow. Doom 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 doom. Hello, dear user. It's Zaidi boy. Great brand, eh? Quicksilver. And from a marketing perspective, what's very interesting is they don't advertise that much. In fact, I want to contact them. These are one of the folks I want to contact with a marketing proposal in order to get some good advertising out there. I believe that any brand can benefit from advertising, okay? Because some brands, like especially luxury or exclusive or elite brands or niche brands, they're big on the fact that, hey, we don't advertise, right? That's number one. Number two is, as you see, I have no problems letting everything around me fall apart. Emilia Heart Alert, Emilia Heart Alert. Okay, so this is coming off. I guess I got to do some laundry or something. This is just one big mattress. That's that secret right there. And I was munging around with some videos here. Second thing, and so I thought I'd make one. Yay! I realized that, two things that benefit me greatly are, oh my God, exercise. And what is this thing? Exercise and Emilia. Heart alert, Emilia, heart alert, Emilia, Amelia, Amelia. So, it's therapeutic, right, making these videos, and I got my ferro stick on, so I'm trying to reel in the arrogance, eh? The thing with the brand is that I am an outdoor guy. I'm a snowboarder, I'm a hiker, I'm a skateboarder, I mountain bike, and all these kinds of things. I ski when I get a chance. I've got skis somewhere. Fuck, I don't have any idea where they are. In fact, I've got I've got a whole slew of videos pertaining to outdoors and hiking, and you know how you need to unplug from the city and go out to nature. You really do. No cars, no buildings, no suits, no ties, no people, no buses, no traffic, right? So you can unplug your mind from all those associations and present yourself to nature because you're part of that nature. So for me to identify with this brand, this is the thing. That's why I identify with these guys. I identify with Billabong. I identify with Burton. I identify with Vision Streetwear and Vans and Converse shoes, right? And I wear these things proudly because they represent my lifestyle. I dare say that that is what you should be aiming for as a marketer. Customer whose lifestyle you share, whose value set therefore you share. We're all into outdoors, we're all into strength and fitness and endurance and clean living and all this kind of stuff. Now, the brand for most people is just, they don't think it out that much. They just like cool stuff. And it doesn't apply, even myself. For example, if I wear a pair of Ray-Ban glasses, then is it because I liked the original Moonlighting series or whatever? I guess there was only one, with Bruce Willis and that lady, Madeline something or whatever. Back in the 80s, Bruce Willis used to wear Ray-Ban Wayfarer shades. Now, that might be an association that advances a person down the path or the sales process or the thought process, the buyer's journey. Go to my website, salesandmarketingforyou.com, separated by hyphens, and Google. There's a Google search functionality on my website. You can find an article that talks about all of this stuff, whatever I'm talking about here. There's whole sections on marketing communication, whole sections on sales process management in this case. So you find sales or sales process management, okay, and you have seller's journey, seller's trying to accomplish certain things in certain stages, and he's at a certain place and mindset. Buyer, same thing. A mistake that most salespeople make is that they just want to apply the sales process, their own sales process, without taking into consideration the buyer's journey. Buyer has to look at something, go back to their boss, figure out where to get the money, what's the contract, and the whole whatever. But a lot of that is just evaluation and relationship building, okay? So if you're just trying to shoot them into your sales funnel and qualify them. Qualifying is great, and you should always qualify them. I'm never bad qualifying. I got a bunch of renowned articles on qualifying. Hey, can you believe this, guys? I walked into a telemarketing operation to do some work for them once. You know, I consult with all kinds of people. They actually had my sales and marketing articles on telemarketing printed out on their people's desks. Is that retarded? I'm like, where did you get these from? Oh, our administrator was just looking for articles on cold calling. So if you go and you Google certified marketing consultant, I should be on page 1. I might have shifted to page 2. There's so many fucking sponsored results now. The second thing is, you know, something like sales lead sheet, right? I'm on page 1 on Google. I still haven't gotten around to taking care of any of the business I wanted to today, guys. Right? I wanted to, you know, I've been munging around with these videos and stuff, and I still have to do this stupid form. Social Justice Tribunal of Ontario, okay? And, you know, my fucking landlord has me in here. It's so cold. All I got is this little heater, which I thank him for, and I did thank him. I took a picture and sent it to him, and they gave me this great little convection oven. Because there's no cooker, they gave me like a hot plate. It's so fucking cold in here that I got like, oh my god, all my toques have all fallen down, eh? I got like toques up the yin-yang. Oh my god, they're all over the place. Look at this mess. And my whole life is just basically devolved to a stop. I haven't been working. I've been sick and coughing and struggling and, you know, just getting into this goddamn place. All this stuff and this freaking TV. Look at this TV. It's impossible. They didn't even put handles on it. This thing is just like, and I move this thing around by myself, man. I'll ask somebody to help me move it into the apartment and out of my apartment, and then I'll figure out how to get it. In this case, my beautiful friend Campo, Campacito. I don't know where he's from again. Is it from, where is he from, man? Ecuador or something like that? Bolivia? I don't know. Anyway, I don't mind sharing this time with you. I gotta go eat something, so do you want to join me? I wanted to talk about religion today. I wanted to say something meaningful. I wanted to talk about the fact that I wanted to just give you the light side of religion, okay? But when I think about it, there's no dark side of religion. It's all light, and it's all blessing, and it's all fun, and it's all partying, and it's all peace, and it's all liberation. You know, the Quran says that, oh people, respond to the Prophet when he calls to you, giving you that which gives you life. Respond to him. And whatever the Prophet gives you, take it. And whatever he stops you from, don't do it. Right? So alcohol and, you know, stealing and hurting people and, you know, insincerity and, you know, being unloyal and deceptive and all these kinds of vices, right? According to our sixth Imam, peace be upon him, you see, the whole of religion is predicated on reason, guys. It really is. In Shia thinking, reason is the ultimate. If something doesn't accord to reason, it's to be discarded. Okay? It should accord with reason and with your nature. I just saw this guy some guy on TV, on Real News, and, you know, he's some, like, Republican kind of guy, and he's, like, candidate or something. He was like the governor of Wisconsin or some shit. Perhaps somebody knows who I'm talking about, right? And he's like, well, you know, he made a valid point from his perspective, right? From the perspective of, look at this goddamn mess. I was just looking for my lease. I need to find my lease to give to my fucking bail officer. I'm out on bail right now, guys. I don't know, like I haven't been able to talk to any of my friends or family about it. Can you believe that? I'm the kind of guy who's always trying to stay in touch with people, and I'm always basically emailing and calling and texting to the point that I become a nuisance, and people unfriend me on Facebook and don't answer my calls and think I'm insane and all this shit. And I went to jail, got beaten up by cops. My eye was fucking bloodshot. It's fine now because, alhamdulillah, God gave me a very nice body that actually regenerates and recuperates, and I thank him for that. Anyway, you know, this is like a map of my adventures once again. So, like, knickknacks everywhere, right? And I leave reminders for myself, but the whole goddamn place has just become reminders and symbols. Like, that's what I told you on the previous video, my last video. everything I do now has become symbolic. These are little items for my beautiful baby. Gathering up here, Jesus video, and the meaning of wife, and a claim book on wife, and one of her credit cards I found, and all this kind of shit, right? And then here's my business of the day. You know, here's my wallet with all my fucking stuff I gotta do. Look at this stuff. Guys, how are you gonna get organized in life, right? I mean, this is the thing. What it boils down to is, you know, something that, once again, religion will tell you. You know, if you want to, how are you gonna get organized? Well, you can take time management classes, and you can do this, and you can do that, and okay, so right now, what I'll do is, I'm going to, God willing, dear viewer. Okay, let's put on some RT, like some real news. RT. I don't even know what it stands for. Like, is it real television? Channel 177. And so yeah, I mean, Russian Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church are meeting after 1,000 years, guys. There's a very peculiar verse in the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jal, God the Almighty says, well, basically, there's a saying of Prophet Muhammad, first of all, that the children of Israel, as in Jews, will be or are divided into 70 sects, and the Christians, okay, the followers of Jesus, peace be upon him, are going to be divided into 72 sects, or 71 sects, and Muslims, according to the Holy Prophet, are going to be divided into 72 sects, out of which only one is the correct sect. And then, which one is that? Well, Shias say it's our sect. Shia means follower or friend, because we are Shias of Imam Ali. So after Prophet Muhammad, most people, like the Sunnis, they followed some dude. They just elected some random guy, basically. It wasn't even a random guy. Tribal leaders got together and came out with swords and took over the office of caliphate. They claimed to be successors of Prophet, and they created all kinds of whatever. You know, they created all kinds of. God, my place is such a fucking mess, guys. I wish I could. I don't want to disrupt the camera, but if I show you the. So this is the thing. My theory on why my life is such a mess. So it's spiritual versus time management. This is what I was trying to do. Like, I want to write a book called Anti-Self-Help. Okay, Anti-Self-Help. What's Anti-Self-Help? Okay, so Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, okay, sponsored by Andrew Rockefeller. Okay, Andrew Rockefeller, one of the richest guys of his time, paid Napoleon Hill, who's a journalist, to go and interview 500 of the most rich and successful guys of his time, guys like J.P. Morgan and Henry Ford and fucking Edison and stuff like that. I think Edison may have not have been in there, but Charles Schwab and all these kinds of guys, like the Roaring Twenties. So it was a time of great prosperity for a select handful of folks, and you know, austerity for a lot of folks leading up to the Great Depression. Right? A lot of people say that Rockefeller and these bigwigs are the guys who actually created the situation that caused the stock market to crash, because a lot of them made a killing. And by the way, I tend to side on that kind of conspiracy, right? Because nothing happens without a reason. In any case, Napoleon Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich. Over the course of 25 years, he talked to these fucking people. And Think and Grow Rich is the be-all, end-all of self-help. No one will deny that. Tony Robbins will say yes. Dr. John Gray, Mars and Venus, he'll say yes. Okay? Guy who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul, I forget his name, he would say yes. Stephen Covey, God rest his soul and forgive his sins, author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he would say yes. Napoleon Hill is Og Mandino, who wrote The Greatest Salesman in the World or something, he would say yes. Napoleon Hill, the first guy who actually conceptualized and theorized and documented these thoughts on success. And it all boils down to the thought process. Correct thought process equals to correct action equals, it's not even the action. Correct thought process equals correct results. And within the text of Think and Grow Rich is the Secret of Attraction, and it's a very fucking mystical book, guys. I haven't read all of it, I'll be honest with you. I haven't read all of it. Okay, so you should go read it. Read some of it. Reading some of it's better than reading none of it. And by the way, with most books, you can just read the first paragraph or whatever. I got so much to do. Like, I gotta go see a doctor, right? To prove to the fucking social justice tribunal that I was sick and all this kind of stuff. I've been to hospital. I got medicine. This is a hospital shirt, and you know, it's not easy, man. That's like, I don't want to complain, dear user, but like, you're my therapist, eh? And you're my companion. I was just saying how I went to jail and I've suffered such hardships, eh? And I'm getting kicked out of this place and blah, 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 blah. And I got no one to talk to. I really literally can't get anyone on the phone, and when I do, the reception's so bad here in the basement, nobody can understand me. Like, literally 5 times a day, I get people saying, fuck, you know, I can't hear you, I can't hear you. And I've been going around town blaming mobilicity, like the fucking phone company. It's such shit. Like, my beautiful baby Judith, she lives on the 24th floor in her building, and you can't fucking use, like, you can make phone calls up there, you can't use the data up there. It's retarded. It's fucking retarded. You know, dear viewer, I'll try and remember to show you. Hey, look at all this coffee I drink, eh? By the way, you know what? I've come up with this new thing, which is that there's no such thing as too much coffee, as long as it's good coffee, right? So, I drink literally 2 bottles of fucking, 2 liters of coffee a day. At least. This is my 2nd cup like this just this morning. It's just noon. It's just noontime right now. Right? So it's Friday, and, you know, I'm not working right now. I'm actually looking for another job. I've been working construction sites, and standing outside for fucking 9 hours. I got my reflective vest and gear, and I got a whole bunch of videos about that shit, most of which I haven't even fucking uploaded, right? Anyway, dear user, I hope I'm not boring the crap out of you. Yeah, I was in hospital. I even picked up I borrowed some hospital gloves. They're quite delightful, eh? And I like wearing this because it reminds me that I got to be on point. It reminds me not to get carried away. So, a couple of things. Okay, so self-help, of course, then you got unknown people like Dr. Malcolm Maltz, Mike, Alpha, Lima, Tango, Zulu. Malcolm Maltz, he wrote Psycho-Cybernetics. Okay, amazing. What's interesting is I'm standing here with surgical gear on, and this once again to me proves God, quite frankly. And Malcolm Maltz wrote Psycho-Cybernetics and created the science of self-image, which leads into motivational theory, going from self-help. This has happened about the 60s. He was a plastic surgeon, and what he found is that when he performed surgery or successful procedure on someone, and altered them in a way that the person wanted or expected or liked, etc., the person's whole conception of themselves and their whole personality and outlook, everything about them changed. Essentially, there was a shift, and what he figured, it was started from a shift in your self-image or self-esteem. So you look in the mirror for 30 years and you see an ugly dude, and then you look in the mirror and the thing that was making you ugly, like the mole or the spot or whatever, the crease, the wrinkle, is gone. And suddenly you feel liberated. And based on the remarkable results that he saw in his operating room, guys, he went on, not that he only did he have a successful plastic surgery practice back in the 60s, that's a pretty big deal, but he not only had a plastic surgery practice, but he went on and he basically became he is the unknown father of the science of self-image / self-esteem. Self-image / self-esteem. Because as soon as we realize we have a self-image, the question becomes, what is that self-image? And then it's related directly to our sense of, self-worth, right? So if you have a sense of self, a self-image, then what is that self-image? Like, to say you've got a self-image, that's great news, but then what? Right? Is that good or is that bad? Should we be celebrating the fact we got a self-image or whatever? see, cleaning up this kind of mess becomes an exercise in itself, and it's making me really good. Believe it or not, as disorganized as this fucking place looks, it's actually honing my skills in terms of, you know, how to go about. Like, how do I fucking get through the day with this mess, right? So, okay, so with self-image, self-help theory became motivational theory. Motivational theory is hinged on self-image. It basically says the following: if you can force your self-image to be better, everything's possible. So then you stand in front of a mirror and you go, I'm a champion, I'm a champion. It's stupid and it's nonsense. Self-affirmation, according to my friend and mentor, Steve Chalk. I need a Q-tip. I'll be right back, folks.
I'm almost back. Hold on a brief moment in time, won't you? It will be worth it, I promise.
Look at these beautiful books I picked up, eh? So, basically, this is Picasso, for example. And, you know what? I'll read the back of this. Oh, wait, there's no back. But they're really good books, right? There's a really good publisher. And so they've got, this is unfortunately in French. But they've got, look at all these fucking Picasso prints in here, man. What do you think yours truly is going to do with all these? Yours truly is going to, like, ghettoify them. And basically, I take stuff like this. Oh, my God, look at this. Isn't this incredible? So this little thing basically is about, to me, more valuable than a trip to fucking the museum, the Royal Ontario Museum. Okay? Because there you got people, you got security guards, you got tickets, you got all kinds of crap, and you got to get out there. With this, it's just like Emerson said. He said, I'd rather sit in a chair and read a nice book than go traveling. Me too. I was talking about how solitude is so amazing. So you sit there with a book like this, you're going through it, you can really get into it, and then you've got the background commentary, the context. Well, this is what Picasso was trying to do, and early on in his life he was like this, and Picasso was the man. I've said in another video that he painted every year from the age of 2 to the age of 90. And his favorite story of his, of mine, favorite story relating to him, favorite story of mine that relates to Picasso, yo. Hey, listen, he was in a restaurant. Okay, because he was a legend. He became a legend in his time. By the time he was like 60 or 70, he was already a legend, and he still lived for another 20, 30 years, right? So some lady comes over, and she's like, oh, Mr. Picasso, blah, 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 and she's gushing over him. And, you know, obviously you had television, and the cult of celebrity was essentially just forming in the world, because you had motion pictures and mass propagation of media, right, in terms of messages through media. Like, if you have telegraph, you're... Okay, it's time to pray, dear viewer. Okay, I was going to talk about how fun religion is, and that's really where I'm going to leave it. So, we'll see you next time. Comments appreciated, and the last thing I'm going to say is, God is great, and fry your pasta. If you had any idea how delicious this was, 230 Logan is my address. Queen and Logan. Come round, I'll feed you. See you later.